loaded a new one. Now here on the front page I've got a large number of hyperlinks. If you remember my hyperlink text, it offered to hyperlink to a web page but also to another page in the flip chart. So it's very easy to create tables of contents. Mine are listed by topic, so that if I want to show a particular topic, so for instance if I wanted to show somebody what a magic box was, all I would have to do is click on the hyperlink and it will take me to my magic box. We'll come back to my magic box in a minute. I'm going to go back to my page list and I'm just going to run through this very quickly. So, the first question that I always ask people is, if you were a child, what would you prefer to see? That or that? Most pupils, and I had some pupils looking at this yesterday, it was a classroom full of teachers, the pupils voted overwhelmingly for this page here. You can use your interactive whiteboard to type things on in different colours, put them at different angles, just make it slightly more interesting. You can use this by importing your existing Word worksheets. You don't have to start from scratch. I'm sure you've all got a large number of worksheets out there. It's very easy to import them into a whiteboard. This is just a conversation, and all I've done is imported a Word document into my whiteboard, and I've split it up by line, rather like fridge magnets. So here, I'm asking pupils, and this could be done in a foreign language very effectively, how you can put this back together to make a correct conversation. Yet again, this is about how to turn statements into questions. Very simple example of moving text. These are anagrams, the same sort of principle. This is just an example of typing in some words on the screen and asking the pupils how many correct sentences that they can make. Grammatically correct sentences. There are in fact 4. One is, the boy has an apple. You can do it this way, or if I just undo it, you can either do that or just pick up the pen and just draw lines through it. The boys have some apples is another possible sentence. This is a rub and reveal, so I've done it in English, but equally effective in any foreign language. I've just typed the words with their plurals underneath. So all I have to do is pick up my eraser and rub out the white writing. Very simple. This is a multiplication spider for little ones, so 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 8, 16, etc. This is a more complicated thing. This is an advanced biology test, so all I have to do is just rub things out. So very simply, I can just rub out and edit my document. This next page is a piece of a typical Word document. This is A-level chemistry revision about catalysts. Exactly the same principle. All I've done is, for revision purposes, ask them to blank out some of the keywords and then ask them what's underneath. This one, very simply, select and move. So it's an equation with its solution. They have to work out what's underneath the pink rectangles. This is a matching exercise. So I've typed in words and their contractions, and all you have to do is put in the correct contraction. This is a table. This is a table, so this is a table where you can pull adjectives and nouns in. And another example here where I've got the two overlapping each other, because of course chocolate is both a noun and an adjective, as well as being a necessity on some occasions. On the next page I've got a diagram which shows what things that you can eat more of or less of. So you would expect them in a lesson on health and science to say that you need to eat most of vegetables, least of course of chocolate and cupcakes, and then discuss what sort of things would go in the middle. How healthy is roast chicken? It depends what you put on it. This is a simple bar chart. All I've done is create multiple copies, and this is how pupils get to work. This is a jigsaw. Any picture can be split into a jigsaw, and they can just move it round. Quite fun. This is a typical worksheet that I got from an English teacher, showing words which sound the same but are spelt differently with different meanings. This is what you can do with an interactive whiteboard. The pupil can come up, and if they think it's the bus will stop here, they discover it's wrong. If they think it's correct, then they get the correct answer up there if they think it's here. Similarly, hair is correct. This is an actual worksheet that I found a teacher using. This is the same thing done with an interactive whiteboard. I'll go through this very quickly, but this one is about putting shades of meaning into words so the pupils can choose what they want to do to make their own poem. It's called City Blues. This is the magic paper technique where the answers are written in white. That's for economics. This is a quick history revision. This is a quick prime number revision. This is plurals again. This is how to make plurals in English. And this is using the magic paper, but this time actually moving the paper to produce the answer. Similarly, you saw an example of this earlier. How many right angles do we have? That's a break-even chart. This is the magic box. Let me show you the magic box. So this is like a props box for advanced English. So when you're revising, in this case Romeo and Juliet, what you do is you just pick out the pin that you want to pick out. We've gone for the red one this time. And then the pupil has to discuss the relevance of this particular prop to the play. So it's just like the sort of props box that is used for advanced English teaching. And here you just put in lots and lots of different props. So this is a legal document. So where does a legal document come into this? This is animals which are native and non-native. Same principle, just looking at animals. The native animals go into the box. The other ones sit outside it. So that's a magic box. Same sort of principle with different lines. Yet again, this is a diagram, but this time they can actually move the text. Queen Elizabeth goes at the top, whereas the rest of the female species in those days went at the bottom. This is just very simply pulling pictures into your whiteboard, putting them out for discussion. This is the Berlin Wall, just looking at a piece of European history. Simple sentences, phrases that you can use to make correct sentences. The teachers were, obviously, is incorrect. The teacher is, perfectly correct. The teacher, well, always, friendly. Or more truthfully, busy. Next, just a little test for dyslexia. I've just done some coloured backgrounds. I did this one for the British Dyslexia Association. And here, various mathematical ones showing reflections. Pupils come up and draw them, then the correct answer appears. I just use different sheets for that, just put things on different sheets. And that's about it. Right, that is the end of my gallop through. I'm sorry it was such a gallop, and I do apologise for all the computer problems at the beginning and the background noise from the office. But as I've had to use a phone-in line, I've had to use my office desk. Are there any questions?
Well, thanks a million, Michelle. That was really good. Very interesting. I'm sure everyone found it very informative and an excellent session. So just to remind everyone that the session is being recorded, and so that it'll be up in the next couple of days if there's anything you want to go back on and watch in greater detail. So I'm conscious that it is a couple of minutes just before 5, so I assume a lot of you might be rushing off. But if there's any pressing questions, you could type them into the chat function now. Otherwise, you could email me questions if you have some that we haven't time for, and I can ask Michelle to answer them later on. So if there's any pressing questions, I'll just give you a few seconds to put them in.
Somebody's just come up with some annotation tools, which he's asked to annotate with.
Sorry?
Somebody's just come up with some annotation tools he's asked to annotate with.
All right.
So if I put allow to annotate, I've got a list of the panellists. I've got Neve and Brenda and Fred who wants to say something, I think.
Did you want to let them speak?
It's probably quickest at this time, yes. Oh, I've got 2 Neves.
There's Marion is asking, would you be able to show the magnifying glass function?
Of course, yes. Right. Let me just cancel this. So let me just cancel out, and I'll show you the magnifying glass function. We have 2 possible magnifying glass functions. Let me just put in a picture to magnify. So let me use that picture there, Marion, for you.